In the 1920s, young women were going wild. They would do practically anything to get noticed.
Good times are coming, good times are coming, so cheer up. Let's be carefree.
Most of them wanted to be famous silent movie stars. And to get noticed by the movie producers, you needed to have a lot of publicity. Whenever there were cameras about, you can guarantee that some flapper would jump at the opportunity and start posing. Well, if we can get these ladies to stop posing, we can start our newspaper for today. It is the Seattle Post-Intelligencer, dated May 18th, 1927. Scotch lord, in Dutch, says women cause. Unshaven, unkempt, and bearing little resemblance to the dapper, young Scottish nobility who gave out an interview a few weeks ago in the fashionable lobby of the Olympic Hotel, Lord Alexander Duncan Ferguson sat in a little cell in the county jail yesterday, and the age-old complaint of man when he is caught in a tight place. Women got me into this mess. Ferguson, who is charged with burglary after a triumphant tour of the Pacific Coast as a self-styled member of the British peerage, was transferred to the county jail yesterday morning following a daring break for liberty from the city jail the previous evening. At the risk of his life, he made a perilous climb from his cell on the 5th floor of the public safety building to the roof and ascended by a fire escape, only to be rearrested 20 minutes later by city detectives. Police were still marveling yesterday of how Ferguson managed to climb up the stone wall and to the roof. "I don't know how I did it myself," the prisoner confessed. "I was desperate. After I dug my way out of my cell, I got a foothold on the corner of the building, 5 stories above the ground, and clinging to small projections, I finally got on the roof. It was pouring rain, and that added to my difficulties. When I finally got to the ground, like an idiot, I went into a place to get a cup of coffee, and a couple of detectives happened in." Light as a feather, hot muffins for breakfast, and wonderful butter from the famous Hollywood farms. And remember, delicious coffee and rich cream fresh from the farm, fresh eggs, and milk just in from the farm. Hollywood Tavern, 214 University Street. Seattle's most distinctive restaurant. Refrigerator time is here. 3-door refrigerators, 50-pound capacity, at special $19.50. Policeman James Walsh fired several shots at a man he found attempting to remove a tire from an automobile. The man escaped, but is believed to have been wounded. I don't know about you folks, but I think that policeman kind of overdid it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Well, there's one of those flappers trying to get in on the publicity again. Here's an odd one. Spokane. Detectives are investigating what appears to be one of the most unusual cases of impersonation in the history of the police department. A woman of about 45, mother of a 9-year-old boy, states that she believes a stranger posed for 3 days as her husband, living in her home here. Her son, she said, also believes that the man is not his father. He looks like my husband, dresses like him, and talks like him, she told Captain Miles. Her name was not divulged. Hey, what are you doing on the dinner table? Bite yourself an alphabet. Become a pretzelier. There's a new order, the Order of Pretzeliers. Any man, woman, or child from 6 to 60 can join. All you need to belong is a set of teeth and some oh-so-good pretzels. You already have the teeth. Your grocer will supply the pretzels. You initiate yourself by biting out an A. It can be done in 2 bites. If you are a clever biter, like this or this, bite yourself an A and you're a member. Starts Thursday, 1 week only. United Artists Theater, Harry Langdon in Long Pants, the comedy success of the season. Picnic hints. Since vernal days are warm and nice and balmy skies we're scanning, it's time to give some wise advice to aid in picnic planning. Take mayonnaise and squashy pies and sticky salads only. You'll find that they attract most flies Without 'em, you'd feel lonely. And when a trip you plan to make with friends, it's fine and dandy to tell the wives to cook or bake whatever they find handy. And then you'll find a big surprise when you sit down to dinner. You'll find they all brought apple pies. The joke is sure a winner. Another simple joy awaits. The fun is never failing. Just hurl the empty paper plates and watch them go a-sailing. They make a dandy boomerang, your skill, if any, testing, and this will entertain the gang when after lunch they're resting. And when the girls remove their socks to wade the stream congealing, the men should splash them, tossing rocks, and listen to them squealing. And when the twilight comes apace and picnic joys are ended, don't fail to litter up the place and then for home start wending. Oh, come on, you're in the road. Ain't it a grand and glorious feeling when your throat starts to tickle when Big Ben starts to ring, and you've been coughing your head off for over a month, and you finally decide to lay off the cigarettes? And when you're desperate for a smoke, a friend tells you that you can smoke 1,000,000 old golds and never cough once, and the first package convinces you he's not chattering through his fedora. Oh boy, ain't it grand and glorious feeling? Old Gold, the smoothest cigarette, 20 for 15 cents. Not a cough in a carload.
Flapper fashion. Here in the days of bootleg booze and bobbed hair, high skirts and a low IQ are very much the fashion. Don't let the teacups fool you. With smoking a newly acquired art, or rather a newly won freedom, Flossie and Flora Flappers sported all the latest gadgets for lighting up. In fact, they had almost everything but a match. Notice Flossie Flapper's shirt and tie and the pockets in her belt. This gives you an idea just how far equality could go in the early days of women's suffrage. Here's one of the reasons for short skirts of the time. You couldn't very well reach for a cigarette lighter at the knee if you were wearing skirts to the ankle. And think of the fire hazard of a hemline to the floor. If Flora Flapper's slip shows, it's because she doesn't want Mother to know she smokes. But this girl's feather in her cap is a cigarette holder in her hat, and that's one way to let smoking go to your head.